more Bitcoin for the Luna Foundation Guard, new tooling for NFTs, the Astro Wars rage on. This is the Lunar Orbit podcast, and today is Friday, the 6th of May of 2022. Now get overexcited for that like button, and let's get into it.
He's even gonna... Oh my God! Look at Danny! He's gonna smash that time! Come on, Danny! Look at the whip! What the hell?
So the big news overnight was that the Luna Foundation Guard has purchased another $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin to top up the yield reserves that are designed to stabilize the UST peg in times of distress. This CNBC article goes into the details. LFG performed a $1 billion OTC deal with prime broker Genesis for $1 billion worth of UST, and also bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin from Three Arrows Capital. Now, it's not clear if the deal with Three Arrows Capital was for UST or for Luna directly. I have a feeling it might be for Luna. Thank you R reveals the new Bitcoin wallets that LFG are now using, as seen in this tweet, and you can see for yourself just how much each of these wallets are holding. This one here holds 25,000 Bitcoin, worth around $1 billion, and this one almost 13,000 Bitcoin, worth $500 million. Now the deal with Genesis Prime I think is very significant because it's for UST, not for Luna. Now having a look at Genesis Prime's marketing PDF, we can see that they're a full service prime broker, which is a full service end-to-end solution for sophisticated investors, including hedge funds, trading firms, family offices, high net worth individuals, quant funds, and brokerages and exchanges. So as we can see, the demand for UST is huge, and institutional money is now starting to flow in, as seen by the news from Fireblocks, which I dropped in a podcast early last week. Okay, on to the Astro Wars. This tweet here from 0x Chaos does a great job of highlighting the amount of Astro tokens that are being locked up in the various protocols in the first few days of the lock drops. And as we can see, Retrograde is already out in front. Orion is doing quite well also. They opened their lock drop a few days before everybody else, so had that first mover advantage there. I expect a lot more Astro will come into these protocols in the last few days and hours of their respective lock drops. Now, if you're an Astro holder and you're still a little bit confused about the significance of these Astro Wars and why you should deposit some of your own tokens into these protocols, this thread from Detective Grover highlights its value proposition. And this statement here is true of any of the protocols trying to lock up ex-Astro. As the treasury for Astro grows, retro value increases, which will lead to protocols that prioritize governance to accumulate and bribe retro holders. The way this works is it's a lot more efficient for a protocol that's trying to sway governance to simply bribe users for their votes rather than purchase the actual Astro token. Now, there's only 9 pools that can be incentivized every 2 weeks with further Astro incentives, and at least 4 of those pools will likely be taken up by liquid staked derivatives of Luna, things like Luna X by Stata Labs and ST Luna by Lido Finance. So the competition will be fierce for the remaining 5 pools every 2 weeks. This discussion on Terra Spaces goes through it well, especially at breaking down the value proposition of each protocol. A really high level summary: Retrograde money is solely focused on the highest leverage position possible for Astro, so should offer the highest yields going forward for Astro holders. Where Apollo DAO is a more slow and steady approach, accumulating key assets from many protocols that make up the Terra ecosystem. They generate daily revenues from multiple sources, and some of that will be used to buy Astro off the market every day. So they will slowly accumulate Astro and strengthen their position over time. Before I continue, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hi, I'm Gerry, host of the Lunar Orbit podcast, where I provide regular alpha and updates on all things Terra Luna. And if you enjoy this content, consider supporting the channel by smashing that like button, hitting subscribe, and hitting the notifications bell so you get all my videos in a timely fashion. In the last podcast, I mentioned Pinehearst's NFT dashboard that he'd been working on via Flipside Crypto. It's now gone live and we can dive in and have a look. It's an excellent dashboard with a whole lot of data to interrogate, but what interests me the most is this graph here, where we can see new NFT users on Terra doing a 7x in about the last 6 months. We can also see the cumulative sales value of Galactic Punks going parabolic. Now keep in mind that a percentage of those sales go back into the Galactic DAO, and they have a team of trusted community members working out how to reinvest those funds to provide further yield for the DAO over time. So in a way, the Galactic Punks DAO is similar to Apollo. It's becoming a mini decentralized hedge fund. We can also see the cumulative sales for the Lavana Dust NFTs exploding as well. Now, if you're not familiar with the Lavana NFT ecosystem, their main NFTs are baby dragons, which you can nest and hatch out of eggs and genetically modify with this dust over time, which you'll be able to use in a DeFi incentivized game when it goes live at some point after the Levana leveraged trading platform goes live. And holding a nested dragon egg will make you eligible for the LVN airdrop, so keep an eye out for that one. Furthermore, on the subject of NFTs, Liquidly has launched their NFT multi-sender and airdropper tool, which is free for use. This is perfect for NFT teams with no full-time devs that want to perform airdrops and other gifts to their community with an easy-to-use interface. It's also perfect for users who want to bulk send their NFTs from one wallet to another, like to a cold storage address. They did an excellent Twitter Spaces, which you can listen to here, with a bunch of key players from the Terra NFT ecosystem and some of the new tooling that's being worked on. Pretty soon, NFTs will be able to be traded independent from a platform in a peer-to-peer fashion, technology that's been developed by the Deviants Factions team. So if you're interested in learning more about the budding NFT ecosystem that's growing at a rapid rate, I suggest you give this a listen. Now, in previous podcasts, I've mentioned Tick Money, Flint Money, and Alice Finance, but Outlet Finance looks to be doing something similar for US-based customers. They have an FDIC insured bank account, which you can link to a Terra wallet, meaning users can use Outlet as their actual bank account and transfer their salaries directly into it while earning the higher yield that the Anchor protocol provides. And you can go to and from fiat instantly without any ACH transfers, which typically take days. And you can spend some of your wallet balance anywhere with their card. Finally, the Anchor protocol has topped over $20 billion of total value locked. To keep that into perspective, it wasn't that long ago when all of DeFi was worth only $1 billion. Fast forward about 18 months later, and the Anchor protocol alone is worth 20. So as we can see, DeFi itself is growing at a rapid rate, and the Terra ecosystem is making massive strides in onboarding regular people through these neobanks like Outlet Finance, and institutions via services like Fireblocks and Genesis Prime. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoy this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos.